Santo. Good morning, my dear friends from YouTube. Good morning, my dear friends from Facebook. I said to you, good afternoon, sorry, to also those who are here. And I welcome you as a friend. I welcome you as a family. I welcome you as someone who wants much more, a little more of what you have received until now. And as I was praying here just now, I pray about something that was so important. And I talk about something that is so important that many times in life we, we have goals, we have dreams, we set up goals in life, and we have many plans in life. And sometimes as we start towards these goals and this plan, we stop. And then we go and we continue again and again and again and again. And sometimes we spend our whole life going around like in a circle. Sometimes we spend our whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years doing the same thing, seeing the same thing, or instead of moving forward, it goes backward. And as I was meditating, as I was reflecting, it's like a person who wants to cross to the other side of the lake, the other side of a river, or who wants to cross into the other side from a firm island into another island. And the person begins to swim. A person jumps into the water and begins to swim. And all of a sudden, that person begin to realize that you are carrying a backpack full of rock. And you begin to drown. And you begin to fight in order for you to float, to go up. And then you realize it becomes hard or almost impossible to swim, to float, or to go to the other side of life, or to experience something new. When you carry a backpack full of rock, it becomes impossible for you to swim, for you to go to the other side of the lake, of the river, other side of life. And This is what happened to people, to us. We go about life picking up rocks, picking up tools, picking up things that we think we need or that we're gonna use ahead, or sometimes we unconsciously pick things that create a weight, that create a weight that instead of helping you to cross to the other side, it brings you down. But that's what happened when we are unconscious. When we follow the normal patterns of life. When we follow the philosophy created by humans. When we follow man-made way of so-called worship, it becomes a point as a person's life where a person begins to suffocate emotionally. And when someone is suffocating emotionally, the person's grasping for air, is grasping for a way to relieve themselves from being suffocated. Person begin to realize that a person needs to breathe. But how come? Unless before I cross to the other side, or before I jump into the water to swim to the other side and float, I start to release myself from every weight that keep me down. And sometimes we think that the weights, the tools that we have in our back, we're gonna need it ahead of time, but we don't need anything that put a weight on you. You don't need it. Anything that stop you from crossing into the other side, you don't need it. It's not necessary. It's not important. What a person needs to cross to the other side of life and experience something new is to relieve, yes, himself or herself from the weight, from the things that you think you need, but you don't need. It's like a person who begin to gather everything in their homes, a lamp, a chair. When they begin to realize the house is full of things unnecessary that will make it impossible for you to be comfortable, for you to feel that you have a space, that you could move. And unconsciously a person begin to gather everything they found, everything they think is necessary, but nothing is necessary. Until the person come to a sense and say, well, I don't need this chair, I don't need the basket, I don't need that. They begin to get rid of all those things. And you begin to see that you're no longer confined to a small space. That you're no longer feeling suffocated. But a person must come to sense and say, I do not need this weight. I do not need this heavy stuff. And then when you begin to release yourself, then you could swim to the other side. Then you can float. Then you can get to your destination. And once you get to your destination, you're going to begin to experience something different. You're going to begin to see what you never saw before, because you never crossed to this side, because you got so much weight pulling you down. You begin to see, you begin to experience. Your life begin to make sense. When you say, wait a minute, back there I only saw the same thing every day, but now I see something different. Of course, you are not in the same place where you used to be before, because the weight that hold you back from swimming to the other side is no longer there. The weight that kept you from crossing is gone. And then life begin to make sense. My dear friends, you don't need a religion. You don't need anything that put a weight on you so that you suffocate to the point of dying. What is important is to be released from that weight, so you could move forward and experience and begin to see something different. So begin to release yourself on every weight. Begin to break and throw away everything that you have put in place, thinking that you're going to need it. And then you're going to begin to experience something completely different. No one can start something new unless they release themselves from that old weight that kept that person back. My dear listener, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about that we have been shaped. We have been, our mind has been doctrinated. We have grown in ways that have molded our way of thinking, our way of living, our way of doing things. We have been shaped according to human philosophy, according to man-made religious way. We have grown accustomed of doing things in the same way, and then we cannot expect, because you cannot expect to experience something new when the mentality is the same. You can never fully be able to understand the why when we have the same mentality, the same way of doing things, the all time mentality of or rules, regulations, and way of doing everything. A person have to release himself from all the weight without being afraid. I know the uncertainty. I know that everything that is new can create uncertainty, and that you're not knowing where you're going, what you're going to do, but holding on to everything that pulls you back will stop you from experiencing something new, something better, something greater. We have to break the mold. We have to step out of the old mentality. We have to reject everything that pulls you down and stop you from crossing. We have to put aside and begin to release yourself from the weight. Oh, how important it is for a person to release themselves from the old weight, from the old mentality. How important it is that a person can grow, be young and grow, mature, experiencing the same thing over and over and over and over. Just a small bit of improvement, but nothing better unless they turn against anything that pull you down. And they say, I want something new. And I'm willing to get rid of this, so I can be free to float and swim to the other side. And when I get there, my life will have a meaning. My life will have a different experience. We are living in times that can be very, very difficult. But it doesn't have to be so difficult for a person who know a little more than what it was taught to you, who could see far and beyond of the place where we have been confined emotionally, religiously, financially. There is something much more than what you see. There is a world alive beyond what is around, beyond what your friend, what you hear, what you see. There is what was taught to you. There's a life, and you may be surprised, much better. But it's until you free yourself from that weight and begin to experience something new, especially in this new year, especially as we begin to enter in holidays, and the holidays are over, and we begin to get rid of all that weight. We begin to push everything that can keep you from crossing to the other side. This is a word of knowledge and understanding, and I hope you have understood this message. Until then, this is your friend, your messenger. This is your friend, someone who has a message for them, not a new way of thinking, but a message from above. Until then, you have a great day. You have a good week. Bye bye.